What if the company you gave everything to saw you as replaceable? What happens when loyalty becomes your own cage? Stay. Because this is the moment a woman realizes her worth isn't measured by how much she sacrifices. Rachel arrives at 6:30 a.m., office still empty. She's been doing this for 6 years. She is organizing meetings, covering for colleagues, working through lunch at her desk. 6 years, same desk, same promises. Just one more quarter, Rachel. The promotion is coming. She believed them every single time. Her boss, Richard, walking past without acknowledgement, talking loudly on his phone about golf. Rachel wasn't just an employee. She was the invisible engine that kept everything running. But invisible engines don't get recognized. They just get used until they break. Rachel checking her bank account, student loans, rent, car payment. She can't afford to quit. They say hard work pays off, but what if you're working hard in the wrong place? Rachel presents a comprehensive marketing strategy she developed over 3 months. Her boss, Richard, nods, takes her presentation deck. Rachel spent 3 months on this proposal. Nights, weekends. She poured her expertise, her creativity, her soul into 97 slides. In a company-wide email, Richard presents Rachel's strategy as his own. Her name appears nowhere. Not even a footnote, not even a thanks to the team. Her work, his name, his applause. Rachel's face, shock, hurt, then the familiar resignation. She's felt this before. But this time something else stirred beneath the resignation. Something that whispered, "How many times will you let this happen?" Rachel overhears Richard in the break room, laughing with another manager. "Rachel, she'll never leave. Where else would she go?" What if the people who need you most respect you least? Rachel works harder, thinking it will finally earn recognition. Weekend emails, cancelled plans, missed birthdays. She thought if she just worked harder, they'd see her value. So she did. She became the first one in, the last one out. She answered emails at midnight. She said yes when everyone else said no. Rachel's life shrinking. Friends stop inviting her, plants dying on her desk, mirror reflections showing exhaustion. What you feed will grow, what you starve will die. Rachel was feeding her career and starving her soul. Dignity doesn't demand, it expects, and Rachel had stopped expecting anything. Rachel's younger sister, Sophia, visits her apartment, finds her working on a Sunday. Concerned, she closes her laptop. Her sister, Sophia, hadn't seen her in months. When she finally showed up unannounced, she barely recognized the person who answered the door. Sophia sits across from Rachel, worry in her eyes. "When was the last time you did something just for you?" she asked. Rachel couldn't remember. Literally couldn't remember. Sophia reminds her of who she used to be. The artist who painted, the runner who did marathons, the friend who threw legendary game nights. She told her something she'd forgotten. A company can replace you tomorrow, but you only get one life, and you're giving it away to people who would forget your name in a week. Rachel starts to protest, then stops. Tears form. Something cracks. The truth doesn't shout. It whispers. And finally, Rachel was quiet enough to hear it. Monday morning. Rachel arrives at work to find a new hire, Tyler, sitting at a desk beside hers. Hired at a salary higher than hers, with a title Rachel had been promised 2 years ago. Sometimes the universe doesn't nudge you toward change, it shoves you. Rachel walks to HR, asks about her own promotion. The response is cold, rehearsed. "We'll revisit that in the next review cycle." 6 years of next review cycles, 6 years of just be patient. And in one decision, they showed her exactly what her loyalty was worth to them. Rachel sits in her car in the parking garage, hands gripping the steering wheel. Silent tears, then stillness. For the first time in 6 years, Rachel asked herself a different question. Not, what more can I give? But, why am I giving to people who take without gratitude? Rachel opens her laptop, begins updating her resume. Her hands don't shake. They're steady, determined. Self-respect is knowing when to walk away from what diminishes you. 3 months later, Rachel interviews at a competitor. They've heard of her work, the real story, not Richard's version. They offer her a senior position with a 40% salary increase. Turns out her reputation existed beyond the company that refused to see it. Turns out the people who truly understood her value weren't the ones she'd been killing herself for. Rachel's resignation letter on Richard's desk, his shocked face. "You're leaving, but we need you." Need, not appreciate, not value, need. Like a tool you reach for when convenient. Rachel's response is calm, clear. "You've had 6 years to show me I matter. I'm choosing to matter to myself now." Rachel calmly leaving the office quietly. She didn't slam doors, didn't burn bridges. She simply stopped setting herself on fire to keep others warm. Rachel's last day. She packs her desk, 6 years in one small box, walks out at 5 p.m., doesn't look back. Freedom isn't loud. It's the quiet sound of a woman who finally knows her worth. 6 months later. Rachel at her new office. Natural light, collaborative team, leaving at 6 p.m. to attend her art class. Her painting of a bird in flight sits on her desk. Her new company valued results, not performative exhaustion. They recognized her contributions publicly. They paid her fairly. They respected her time. But the real change wasn't external. It was internal. Rachel learned that self-worth isn't earned through sacrifice. It's honored through boundaries. The ancients taught, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. For 6 years, Rachel tolerated being undervalued. The moment she stopped, everything shifted. Rachel at her parents' house for dinner, laughing with family, phone on silent. She got her life back, not by demanding more from others, but by expecting more from herself. Rachel at a coffee shop window, journaling, peaceful expression. She looks up at camera. This story isn't about quitting your job. It's about refusing to stay where you're not valued. If you're working harder than everyone else, but feeling emptier by the day, this message is for you. Rachel writing in her journal, I deserve dignity. Loyalty to a company that doesn't value you isn't loyalty. It's self-abandonment. And dignity. Dignity refuses to negotiate. Let go of the unworthy. You deserve dignity. Rachel hiking a mountain trail at sunset, reaching the summit, arms spread wide toward the sky. Take a breath. Ask yourself, where are you giving everything and receiving nothing? What would change if you valued yourself as much as you value your work? If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who's forgotten their worth in a workplace that takes them for granted. And if it moved you, like and subscribe. Because we're building a community that believes dignity isn't negotiable, it's essential. Rachel placing a stone at the mountain summit, a symbol of her journey. Birds fly overhead toward the horizon. You were never disposable. You just worked for people who couldn't see your value.